The fact of the matter is, whether you've been in network marketing for years or just a few days, your family and friends have seen your opportunity and your phone is, as we call it, burnt. If you're anything like me, that's a scary thought. So the big question is, how do entrepreneurs like us, who love the network marketing profession, who no longer want to be that guy, and are tired of convincing people during uncomfortable let's get coffee meetings where they say, what's this all about? How do we market in a way that aligns us with our dream clients and expands our network of upfront and transparent professionals, allowing us to get our time back, our families back, and gain a real passive asset? People like us who value impact over income, we deserve to see our visions once and for all. Join me in this podcast where we'll uncover just how to do that. My name is Eric Sablon. Welcome to Burnt Phone Marketing. What is going on, everybody? This is Eric Sablon with Burnt Phone Marketing, and I'm fired up. I have a unique individual today on the show. She's a wellness warrior. She's a yogi. She's a wellpreneur and an entrepreneur. She's a positivity pusher. She's a network marketing professional, and I just found out that she actually was on a podcast before, and she was doing yoga training on the beach in different locations. So I'm super excited. We'll talk a little bit about that, but please welcome Michelle Kalina to the show. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here. This is very, very exciting, and I'm excited to learn more about you and what you do and share with the world what I do and push around that positivity.
And definitely. So I've been kind of doing a little bit of research on you, and I noticed that you do everything. I mean, I was looking at you travel. You're always everywhere. You have a family. So I just want kind of the audience to kind of know who you are and what you do. So can you kind of like give them a little bit of a backstory on, who Michelle Kalina is?
Absolutely. Well, I like to call myself a Multi Passionista, which at times can drive myself in my head crazy because there's so many things that I want to do and so many things I want to try and so many things I want to explore. And I've always been like that since I was 15. I started working and learning and then just kept moving on up through the corporate world. And I was living in Atlanta working for Neiman Marcus when I was, early 20s. And I met a jewelry designer, and he said to me, why don't you come to New York and run my business? I said, okay. So I picked up and moved to Manhattan, not knowing a soul. And he kind of took me under his wing, and I helped him run his company for a really long time. And then this was a funny story, but somebody asked me, I joined the Jewish Associates at the Museum of Modern Art, and it was an unbelievable experience. I went to the Lauder's household, I went to Hilton's household, all of those things for parties. And somebody said to me, what are you going to do during the summer? And I said, what do you mean, what am I going to do during the summer? And they said, well, nobody stays. He said, everyone goes to the Hamptons. I said, okay. I just say okay to everything. I'm willing to try out anything. I said, okay. So I signed up. I went to Hampton's house. Fast forward, I met a guy who is now my husband, and I was living in New York, in the city. I moved out to Long Island. We got married. And then he said, do you want to, I had always said I wanted to get out of the cold. I want to work, West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. Feel like I'm a California girl. That's where I need to be. And he said, do you want to move to Minnesota? And I was like, I said West Coast, not Midwest. But here we are. So for a while, I was working for, I'll rewind again. At that point, I was recruited by General Electric. I was working for the jewelry business. Then I was recruited by General Electric to launch a diamond brand. And I was two under Jack Welch, who was the CEO of General Electric at that time. So I had to up my game and really learn marketing like fast. I had to give a presentation to the board on how this was going to, so it was an incredible job. It really was an incredible job. Then when we decided we were going to move to Minnesota, I tried to make it work with commuting, and then second baby and then third baby, and that was not working. So I was trying everything, nannies, the whole everything, and it was just completely overwhelming. So then I got the brilliant idea with 3 kids under the age of 7 to not only build a house, a large house, but open a retail store. Why not? I have sales and marketing experience. I'm going to open a retail store. So 3 kids under the age of 7 built a house and opened a retail store. That's just plain stupid. So now I know that is just like neon light stupid. But I did it, and I did it for about 7 years, and again, drove myself a little crazy. And then I was done. I was out. I sold the store. The woman tanked it, left me in debt. It was just this horrible thing. And I started practicing yoga. And every time I went to my class, I felt a change. I felt like, okay, things are getting better. I felt like every time, and I really connected with this one teacher. And every time I went, I walked out feeling a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better about the shit show that I was living in. Hope I can swear on this.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because sometimes I have no filter. So I really enjoyed the change that it was having in my life. And then I felt like I need to share this, and when you really want to share something, what do? You teach. So I went through 200 hours of yoga teacher training, and it took me longer because I had little kids and there was no training right here where I live. So I had to drive to Minneapolis and fly here and do, so I did it, but I did it. It took me 15 months and I did it. And then I wanted more. And I said, okay, I'm really getting into this whole wellness thing. I like working at home and I like teaching and I want more. So maybe I'll get my MBA in health and wellness. So I did some research. Well, they wanted my transcripts from college. I'm 100 years old. And I did not do great in college. And so they wanted my transcripts. And they said, well, you'll have to take statistics over again. And I was like, okay, that is not happening. Well, then I found out right in my backyard that Mayo Clinic had a wellness coach training program. So I was like, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So I signed up. I did that. It was very intense, a lot of writing and everything. And then here comes my introduction to network marketing. The more I started learning about wellness, I was searching online for a CBD brand. And not because I was searching for network marketing, because I didn't even know what it was at the time. I mean, I had heard of like Mary Kay and Avon and things like that, but I didn't know what network marketing was really. So these people said to me, I was looking for this CBD for my dad because he's got all kinds of issues. And they said, well, if you buy this kit, then you can sell it. You can share it with your family and you can sell it and you can make money. And I was like, really? That's a thing? And they said, oh yeah. And she said, and this person will be your upline. And I'm like Googling upline. I had no idea what the word upline meant. I didn't know. I kept Googling words and learning. And I was like, this is where I belong. I mean, it's like being able to work at Neiman Marcus and, it's the same kind of thing. It's the same hierarchy. There's people who say it's a pyramid scheme, which is ridiculous because every company is a pyramid. So there was a general manager, there were 2 merchandise managers, there were all of these department managers when I was at Neiman Marcus, that's what I was, and then I had people under me. And I said, this is just amazing, and I don't have to wear high heels and walk around on marble floors. I can run a business right here from my office. So I began to build fast, and I loved it. I loved the whole concept of network marketing. I loved it, I loved it, I loved it. But what I didn't love about that business, and now that I've learned more, is that it was more of a belly to belly. It was what I've learned now is old school. They wanted you to have parties. They wanted you to carry inventory. They wanted all of these things. And I wasn't loving that part, but I was still loving the industry. So then I was on YouTube, and I was just looking up some marketing stuff. And I came across Tanya Eliza, and I guess if you can beep out names if we're not supposed to say names, but I came across Tanya Eliza, and I'm watching her videos on marketing, on social media marketing, and how using attraction marketing and all of that. And I was like, what is this woman doing? Because whatever she's doing, I want to be doing. So I started digging around to see what company she was with. And when I figured it out, I said, oh my God, this is for me. So I went on her website and I sent her a message. This was a little over 2 years ago, and I had been with the other company for 6 or 7 months or so. And she called me. We talked on the phone for 20 minutes, and I said, this is where I belong. This is it. And
I said a quote in a post.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I probably did say that, because I was like, whatever she's having, I'm having, and I'm in. I have yet to have anybody talk to me for 20 seconds or 20 minutes on the phone and say, sign me up for the biggest pack. But that's what I did. And so I did. And I was like, how fast can you send me the link? I'm in on this. I want to do it. And then she introduced me to John Melton. And I said, this is like gold. This is amazing. How can I be, I'm so lucky to be in the hands of these amazing leaders. And they basically took me under their wing. And in 4 weeks, or 4 months, not 4 weeks, 4 months, I hit the director level. And, I'm learning also, because I'm so new to this, it's unique, because a lot of people switch companies and they bring their whole teams with them. Mm-hmm. And then, they hit ranks really fast. I was starting from ground zero. I brought a couple people over from that company, but pretty much no. So I was figuring it out all on my own. And initially, I spammed the shit out of all of my friends. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't know anything about attraction marketing. But between John and Tanya, I cannot ask for, just the training itself is worth the price of admission. They've been so good to me. And that somebody who is that high up in a company, I think in John's, in our group, there's like 14,000 or 15,000 people in our team. And he is there for me every second, all the time. Mm-hmm. And Tanya too. And I cannot say enough good things about the network marketing industry. And I love a couple John quotes is, we earn as we learn, which is so true. And that's what I tell my team. And the only way to fail is to give up. I also believe that, because we all go through these ups and downs, like, oh, this is horrible, I can't do this, to, yay, I just got a new person or a new customer or whatever. So I really love the leadership aspect of it. That's my favorite part. In my company, you can build a team, or you can just sell products. You don't ever have to build a team. I choose to do both because I really like both parts of it. I use the products for my clients and my customers, and then I really like the leadership part. So that's what that's what I'm working on.
What's cool is you've taken, like, with that company, I love what you said there. You kind of got, like, you got bit by the bug like I did. Like, yeah. I literally was doing a workout program, and I was looking for the next workout program, and I was like, what, there's a business to this? What is this? I had been pitched forever, on different things. Like you said, you knew Mary Kay and Amway and all these other ones, but I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. And I literally did the exact same thing you did. I found somebody online, and I'm like, this person, and then I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then he called me, exactly like Tanya did. He called me and he's like, hey, I was like, sign me up. I don't know what I'm signing up for, but just sign me up. It doesn't seem like it's that big of an investment. I'll take it. Right. So I did that. That was my first touch in network marketing. But what I like what you said was you basically take everything that you learned from Neiman Marcus, everything that you learned from the diamond industry, everything that you learned from the brick and mortar. So like real brick and mortar, and you wrapped a bow around it because you like the leadership and you like the giving back to people. You're a wellnesspreneur, so you like that. And it's like you have both silos like perfectly wrapped together. And when we met online, guys, don't sleep online. This is the first time we've actually seen each other.
Yes.
On a Zoom call. But she's like, I hit Upline Gold, and I'll tell you what. When you get connected with the right people and search for the right people, a lot of people join network marketing because they find their friend tells them.
actively search out, like, it's a job. You want to get tied in with like some really, really good leaders and some good systems. And like you said, you had Upline Gold, and I like what you said. It says, "What you too" was the actual comment that you said to Tanya when she got you dialed in. That's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. We say that, she and I say that quite often. We are very, very similar and have become very good friends now. And, but I think, one of my quotes that I say all the time is, your vibe attracts your tribe. When somebody has reached out to me and they're considering joining our company and they're talking to other leaders, and I say, I will not be offended. I might not be your cup of tea, and that is okay. I swear, I drink, I'm a bad yogi because I make steak, but like I said, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I think that's what you need to do, is talk to several people and see who's going to light you up, who's going to run when you run by your side.
Right. It's like, yeah, it's like finding a partner, because you really want to find someone that you're going to run with. I mean, you don't want to like lean on them 100%, but yeah,
Right.
vibe with them. You want a confidant, and that's definitely what is important.
Yes. Yes.
So now that you've gone through that journey, you've gone through all of that journey, I've noticed that you are like an admin on so many Facebook groups. I actually want to ask you, how do you do, like, because we teach, work your Facebook group, create a Facebook group, use some tools and techniques that we teach in our mentorship program, but you have so many amazing groups that you run. We don't have to say their names, but you have some amazing groups that you run. How do you like make time to do that? Because it's like a giving, giving, giving. Because I'm looking at all of the posts, because I'm a part of all those groups too. But I'm looking at it and it's like, wow, she's amazing. She has great content, and it's not the same content everywhere. So how do you manage like that many groups and be that active and still be able to build your business? Because I want to like break down that, oh, well, I can't run a Facebook group because I don't have time because I'm prospecting or I'm doing this. So how do you do it?
Well, I kind of think of it as like my kids. I have 3 kids, and they're older now, so I do have extra time, but they're all very different, right? They each have different personalities. They each have different needs. They each need something different from me. And that's the same thing with the groups. So I look at the groups, I look at what people are looking for. And I truly believe with all my heart, we rise by lifting others.
Mm-hmm.
So I go into these groups, and I'm a positivity pusher, and there is so much darkness in this world right now. My goal is to spread the light all the time, spread the light. So if I'm, watching what's going on in there, and I see somebody struggling, I will say to them, reach out, send me a message, and I'll help you. I've helped people with their websites because I'm a little on the techie side too. Again, one of my passions, I could go crazy with doing I was doing TikTok videos, and I do PixArt, and I do graphics art and all that stuff. But anyway, so I go into these groups and I see what they need. So for instance, in our big team group, we have team groups, and we have chats. Mm-hmm. So in the chats, if I'm seeing that these people are asking the same questions over and over and over again, that means, okay, we need to work smarter, not harder. Where can I put that answer so that somebody can just go to it and tag it? So I create a unit. So for instance, we just launched in India. So I created an India unit. I did everything. I reached out to my local friends who are Indian, what would we need in here? And I put that in the units. Or I'll do a file if somebody needs scripts for something, or inspirational posts, or anything. And I see what the repetitive theme is in the chats. And then for some of the groups that are like, boss mom type groups, or work from home mom type groups, I'll add value there that may have absolutely nothing to do with business, but to help them a little bit. And so I'll give one story, because this girl ended up joining my team, but I was in one of those groups, and she was struggling because she's really, she's trying to build her business, but she has a toddler, and she's trying to get the toddler to give up the pacifier. And she's like, got all of these things going on in her head, and she's got this baby that's screaming, and she's trying to run her business. And I said, well, you should do what we did. And we did the Binky Fairy. And my daughter's 21 now, so if she listens to this, she's going to be like, oh my God. But we had the Binky Fairy.
Tag her.
Yes, oh, she'd be mortified. You know, teenagers, 20s, they'd be mortified. So everyone, like tons of comments, what's the Binky Fairy? What's the Binky Fairy? And I said, well, what we did was we went around and we collected all of the pacifiers and we put them into a box. And we said, this is what you have to do. You have to put all your pacifiers into a box and you put them on the front porch. And this was my marketing brain working, right? You put them on the front porch and the Binky Fairy comes and picks up the box and takes the box to the orphanage where all these little kids don't have enough Binkies. And then she leaves you a present. And my daughter was like, no way, that's the greatest thing ever. And that it worked. It worked brilliantly, and it worked for this girl, and then she joined my team. But so that's what I mean. It could mean, you know, it's always, and I had learned this and I knew this before from building a team at Neiman's way back when I was in my 20s. Take care of them. You know, what's in it for them? Take care of them, offer value, and it will come back. And the same thing with customers. I mean, I know Neiman Marcus filed bankruptcy, but they're reorganizing. But Stanley Marcus had a book. I'm blanking on what it's called. But when we first started there, we all had to read it. And it was really about taking care of the customer and the customer's needs and coddling the customer. And we had a coddling fund, which was, you know, if it was somebody's birthday, you send them flowers. If it's somebody, not that you're going to get anything back from it, but that you're taking care of them. And so that at one point, they might reach out to you. And so that's what I do in those groups. I just keep adding value. And and Tanya just asked me, and John, I had said, I'd like to put this in the group. Would that be okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to make you an admin. Just go for it. And so I did, and I do. And so I when I feel like I should add value, I do.
That's, and that's one of the things that a lot of people like. I love what you said. Like, what was it called? The fund? The
coddling fund?
Coddling fund. I mean, that's basically what we're doing. We're making emotional deposits into other people without like wanting something back. And when I like to tell what Grant Cardone says, he's like, give, just keep giving and keep giving and keep giving. And I mean, all the way back to every story, if you give, things come back 10, 20, 30 fold. So give without thinking that you're going to get something back or the ulterior motive or anything like that. If you give authentically, guys, she said it right now. She gave the pacifier fairy story and someone joined her team. She didn't market to them and say, hey, this. She said, hey, let me give you some value. Then they know, like, and trust you. All of a sudden they're on your team and they're producing.
Exactly.
So just think about that. So we talked about that. You talked about, it's funny, you talked about the one quote in your business. And then, let's see, we talked about your story. So do you have any tips for the audience on building your network marketing company through the attraction side? Because you've done it and your logo, your branding, your website, all of that stuff is on point. Like it's very, very, you can tell you have marketing in your background. So a person that comes in, doesn't have marketing, understands network marketing and kind of loves the industry, what 2 tips would you give that person to be like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but here's what I suggest you do first to get a little bit more of a marketing look on your Facebook page or on your, whatever you're doing in your social media?
So the number one thing that I always tell people is just be yourself. You're not, like I've said before, you're not going to make everybody happy. You're going to have haters. You're going to have all of those things. But think about, it's all about sharing pieces of you. I don't do cold marketing at all, ever. And all I do is throw content out there. And I did my website and everything myself. But I thought about what is the message that I want to share. And like you said, the relationship, what I had said about Tanya, the relationship starts when somebody says, oh, you need that too, or oh, you do that too, or whatever it is. So there is a very good chance that there is somebody out there who's exactly like you, who's thinking exactly the same thing. So do it, and do it scared. You know, you get on, if you're going to do a live, I'm going to give you another story. And this is where one of my aha moments. When I graduated from yoga teacher training class, we had to teach in front of the other teachers. And so I made notes. I wrote everything down. I had everything the way that I was taught to do, everything. And I was so nervous. I mixed up my lefts and rights. I mixed up the whole thing. And then I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I'm just going to wing this. I'm just going to do it my way. And people who like my teaching are going to come to my class. People who want that kind of teaching are going to go to somebody else's class. And it worked. And I grew that business. So, oh shoot, I had a thought I wanted to share about that. Finding your voice. So that's the key, is be you and find your voice. And like I said before, your vibe will attract your tribe. So don't try to copy somebody else's voice, and to try to, talk the talk without walking the walk. You have to be the person, be the change you want to see in the world. Be that person. Show up on social media. If you're, doing your first Facebook Live, tell the audience, and I say it every time I do it. I say, okay, I'm probably turning red because I hate Facebook Lives. I get so nervous. I don't mind talking like this when I can see another person, but I hate just talking out there, just like I'm talking to myself. So I say that, and I'm genuine, and even if you're babbling, who cares? The other person who's watching you, who's going to duplicate that, right? Because we're all about duplication, doesn't want you to be perfect. They want you to be real and raw and vulnerable, so that they know that they can be real and raw and vulnerable. So do the same thing with your Facebook posts. Share, whatever it is that's going on in your world, good or bad or whatever. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the haters. Don't be afraid of the blockers. Let them block you.
Wow. So I'm going to title this your vibe. What your vibe?
Attract your tribe.
Your tribe. That is like on point. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know what, I'm scared to do a Facebook Live, or I don't know what to post, or I don't know what to do, just be authentic. Your vibe is going to attract your tribe. I mean, everyone should write that down, put it on their wall, and literally put it out there every time they're going to do a Facebook Live. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You're going to when you define your avatar, it's going to probably be you 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, or 6 months ago. Where you are now is you're attracting people that are maybe 1 or 2 steps behind you. Learn from people that are 1 or 2 steps in front of you. Teach people that are 1 or 2 steps behind you, and your vibe will attract your tribe. Oh my God, this was a phenomenal interview. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Is there any last words you have to say to the audience?
I don't think so. I would say just don't give up. I really truly believe that the only way to fail in this business is to give up, because if you're out there staying consistent, consistency is key. Absolutely. If you're staying consistent and you're doing your DMOs every day and you're talking to people every day, maybe the attraction marketing route will take a little bit longer, but that's okay. In the long run, you're going to be helping a lot of people, and that's going to be part of your reward. You'll like I said before, we rise by lifting others. It will come full circle to you.
Wow. Yes. Thank you for the interview. I appreciate it. Guys, always listen to the full outro. We'll give you something for free, like always. And I will actually make a landing page, so you'll be able to connect with Michelle and check her out on all of her Instagram and Facebook handles. And I'm sure she'll have some sort of free offer that she'll give away that we'll link in there. So definitely, guys, make sure you listen to the full outro, and we will see you on the next episode of Burnt Phone Marketing Radio.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Are you tired of those lame Facebook groups that provide no value? Well, our Facebook group is awesome. Go to unlockthefbgroup.com and get access to our Facebook group, where you will be able to find interviews of top network marketers and Q&As where you can jump in and talk to them live. We also have massive training. We provide a bunch of free tools. So jump into that group. Again, that's unlockthefbgroup.com. We'll ask you a few questions in mini chat because that's what we do, and make sure that you're not a spammer and get you into the group right away. So again, go to unlockthefbgroup.com and don't be a spammer.